I got to think of it in practical terms. So we get this, we get this correct. Last time I had like the Kenny Omega tier. Look, I don't even think this year was about Kenny Omega. I'm going to tell you, 2021 was way more nuanced than 2020 when it came to AEW wrestling. So your top tier wrestlers, like I think, last time the top tier was Best Bout Machine, but that's not really the theme. I mean, Kenny Omega was the champ, but it didn't really feel like he was he was hurt. He wasn't really wrestling a lot. So who was, like, I think maybe at the top we just go with fucking legend. Just fucking legend status. And then below that, I like having, Worker in here. I think that worked well for us. I think I saw somebody going with main event. I mean, main event is like, yeah, jabroni tier is definitely needed. Jabroni, that would be on the bottom. They told me I spelled jabroni wrong. They don't know if I did. I feel like now we have too many tiers, but I think it'll be okay. I want to have some variance. All right, we got jabroni, and then right above a jabroni is what's right above a jabroni? Just a bunch of Z's. Kind of boring. Enhancement talent. I don't know. Like maybe I'm going to leave these a little bit open, and we'll fill them in as we go. We have our scale. We have fucking legend at the top. We got main eventer. Let's call it main event. I don't know. Main eventer is like so. If they were in a main event, they're a main eventer. Like it's not very creative at all. I don't like that one. In the middle, we have worker. Okay, you know what? I like this. And then we'll come up with these names. We'll come up with the names for the other tiers as we go to describe who goes in there. I think maybe that'll be the best way to do it. And that'll help us work this out. We'll have some more nuance this time than we did last time. Okay. So I got Presto Vance. That's not 10? I don't know about Presto Vance and Allen Angels. I know from the Dark Order, I know 10 was the main one that got, as far as the mask guys go. Let me see if I can Google that real fast. Presto Vance. Because I would like to talk about 10 because he had a crazy fucking match. Okay, yeah, Presto Vance is 10. Okay, yeah, and he's crazy. And he's worth talking about. So, Presto Vance. In 2021, I feel like this got cut short by Mox's departure from AEW. But the match that they had before, I think this was the last major event that Mox was a part of before he left. He wrestled Preston Vance, number 10 of the Dark Order, and it was insane. It looked like it was a shoot. There was blood everywhere. His mask was torn. Now, one thing about the match is that it was his older mask that he was wearing, and so it was kind of clear from the jump that was planned, that they were gonna, that they were gonna do that. But I think he cut himself too deep because there was just blood fucking everywhere, and it looked truly brutal. I think that elevated him. I think he's always been in like a worker kind of status, but I feel that brings him a tier up moving towards the fucking legend. Like, I don't know what this tier is, but it's kind of like, watching that, I was kind of like, holy shit. And next time he's going to come out, I'm going to watch the match. Like, for sure. Like, that guy is more interesting now. Okay. Abaddon is, I think we're a step below Worker on her. She's very interesting to watch. I'd say one of the most interesting matches that I watched in the female division was with Abaddon. I have a real problem not watching those matches. She's fascinating. Maybe she's not the best technically in the ring, but she's fascinating to watch. And her match with Britt Baker on Halloween was truly interesting and more interesting than other Britt Baker matches. So yeah, absolutely elevated. I don't know if she's quite there yet to, Worker status, in my opinion, but very good. Okay, Andrade El Idolo had a interesting year with AEW. I don't feel he got used the way he should, the way he could be. I know he's a big deal. I know he's a big deal outside of AEW, but I didn't see him do anything in AEW of note this year. I feel like I'm hoping they're setting him up for big things in 2022. We will see. So I think for now, I'm going to leave him. It feels weird having 10 Preston Vance over Andrade El Idolo. But look, I got to base it on what they actually did in the ring. And as far as what Andrade did in the ring, he's a worker. It's solid work, but maybe not elevated. All right. I don't remember some of these guys. If I don't remember their work, I can't really put them on here. Now, Anna Jay, she was in this insane hardcore match with these women. And this just makes the cut. December 31st, 2020. They had this insane wrestling match. And I believe it had... Why don't they want to give me these women's names? I don't know. Stop this. Here it is. Penelope Cruz, the Bunny, Tay Conte, and Anna Jay. Yes. Okay. So Anna Jay, because she just made it in and made it to that match, I'm not going to say she's a fucking legend, but she's definitely elevated up there. I mean, that match was nuts. Yeah, you got to take them all up there. Anna Jay, the Bunny, and just barely. I mean, until that match, I just wasn't feeling any of this shit. But that match on its own, I'll get the rest of them up there as we go. They're not jumping out at me right now. But yeah, Anna Jay, the Bunny, Tay Conte, and Penelope Cruz all belong up in this almost legendary category for one of what may be one of the most hardcore female matches that's been put on since Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, really. And I believe that this year, Britt Baker was elevated to fucking legend status. She's incredible. The hardcore match, I believe, was that she had with Thunder Rosa was in 2020, I want to say. Let me see. Britt Baker hardcore match. Was that in 2020 or 2021? Okay, that happened in 2021, I do believe. So, amazing year for hardcore female matches in 2021. It's a real interesting niche for AEW to get into with that. Like, no one was talking about the women's division, and then they start bleeding all over the fucking place. Hard not to talk about it. Okay, the Gunn brothers, I'd say they're a step above Jabroni. Look, once again, we're going to talk about their performance in AEW for the year, what they actually did. Paul White in the ring. I don't want to call him a jabroni. Clearly, he's a fucking legend, but for what he did in AEW in 2021 is a step above. Could be better. I think this is the could be better. Do better, okay? Do better. And I hate to say that about Paul White. He has health issues. It's great he was able to step into the ring and do what he did. But we got to do better, okay? Maybe don't get into the ring if that's what it's got to be. Big Swole. Oh, man, Big Swole is controversial. What are we going to say about Big Swole? She almost made more of a name for herself outside of the ring than she did inside of the ring. So she got let go. Big Swole got let go from AEW and went crazy on Tony Khan as far as accusing him of burying talent and all other kinds of things. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness to her, and this is why she left. She left because she felt like she was being jobbed out. So is she a jabroni? I don't know. We didn't get to see it. As far as what she did in the ring, yes, I do agree that for whatever reason in AEW in 2021, Big Swole was a jabroni. She was treated that way. She was booked that way. Did she deserve it? I don't know. We will see what she does next, where she goes, what kind of work she puts in, if that is her status. But yeah, clearly that was a big problem. Malachi Black. Malachi Black in 2021. When he started off, I was warm. I wasn't like instantly a mark for Malachi Black. But as the time went on, even I don't think his intro has even really changed since day one until now. However, every time I see it, I like it more. I get more into what he's doing. His promos get just, it's all the same. It's like he's been the same consistent since he showed up until now. But every time you see it, it just gets better. I don't know. For me, at least, it gets better. It resonates more. Maybe it's the consistency behind it. I think, I don't want to put him up into fucking legend status, although he's super fucking close. He's right below. So good. And I really feel like he's going to do big, big things in 2022. It looks like they're going to build a whole stable around him. So that'll be very exciting to see. Definitely keeping my eye on that. He is so over in New York and New Jersey. I think it's one of the things that actually helped bury Cody and turn him into the heel that he has kind of become, is booking him against Malachi Black. New Yorkers weren't fucking having it. We loved our crazy tattooed man. And I get it. He's fucking awesome. All right, the Blade. The Butcher and the Blade, I feel, are elevated this year. They are better in the ring. They're better with everything they do. You know what? I'm going to give, I don't know. It feels weird. I think maybe a tier below Worker. I think last time we did this, we had him down in jabroni, but look, they're definitely elevated. They're definitely better. I like seeing more of them. I don't groan when they come out now. It's usually a better match. They're putting in better work. They're definitely one of the most improved two wrestlers on the entire roster. And I'm glad to see it. Yeah, there's the Butcher. We'll get them up there together. These are like almost awesome. Yeah, so close. So close. All right. On their way up. I think this is on the way up right here. Because that's what I feel about 10. And just a bit short. Right? That sounds about right. Because that's what I feel about Malachi Black. He's like just a bit short of like legendary status. All right, let's see who else we got here. Anthony Bowens. Oh my God, these guys, they got to do better. They got to do better. The whole gimmick with them, the rapping, I'm not feeling it. I don't think anybody really is. They're not even like properly hated. It's really a mess situation. I don't want to call them jabronis because I think their in-ring work is good, but I like to see them do better. It's not fascinating. Brandy Rhodes. Brandy Rhodes is on here. She doesn't go on. She's not a wrestler, right? When I see her wrestle a match, then we'll talk about her. Until then, we can't say anything. Look, they got Brody Lee on here. He didn't wrestle. This is sad. Don't put wrestlers on here that don't wrestle, please. All right. And you know, we know why. And we need like a whole nother tier. Look, just take Brody Lee and make a whole AEW Hall of Fame. He's the first inductee. Absolutely. The man's a fucking legend, but he's not with us anymore. So we can't put him on here. Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana may or may not have lost a tooth to Bryan Danielson this year. We don't know. Was that real? Did he really lose his teeth? Is Colt Cabana on the way up? I don't know. He had one good match. I'm going to call him a worker. But I don't quite know if he's on his way. It was a great match with Bryan Danielson. One of the better matches that Bryan Danielson had out of the few matches that he did have. I really enjoyed it. Christian Cage in 2021. I feel Christian Cage needs to do better. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I haven't seen anything that he's done that's really, really impressed me. I know he's done great work in the past with WWE. I know he's definitely a fucking legend, but as far as what he's done in AEW, it's not much. He's been palling around with the Jurassic Express. The matches haven't been great. He did have a good match with Kenny Omega towards the end of his title run, but you know, we'll put him up into almost awesome. I feel bad having him lower than the Blade and the Butcher, being such a legend that he is. But as far as what he's actually done in AEW, it's got to go lower. Here we go. We got Max Caster. He can go next to his tag team partner here. Probably better at rapping than he is at wrestling right now, as far as how he's being used. But yeah, we'll see. We think Cage is on the way up. You want to elevate Cage past worker and on the way up? I don't know. You know what? I think I might have these flipped. I think we need worker up here. And we need on the way up down here. Maybe that's what I need. Does that make more sense? And then Christian Cage kind of fits more there. This guy comes down here. Andrade comes up there. And let me put Colt up here. That feels more right to me. Yeah, I think that's better. I like that. I mean, I basically did move Christian Cage up to the higher tier. And yeah, I feel like his matches were as impactful as 10 in 2021. Chavo Guerrero, did he even do much? He had like one match. It's hard for me to say off of like one match. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes in 2021. What a polarizing guy. What a weird thing he's doing. Put out a video on him. I have a couple of videos on Cody. I'm fascinated by what's happening. The whole thing is he doing Homelander intentionally? Is he good? He made like the top 10 wrestler list for Sports Illustrated. What he's doing, I guess the thing is it intentional? Does he intend to get the response that he's getting? Is he working the audience like a bunch of marks, or is he an idiot? Like, we don't know. I mean, the line between genius and brilliance, or I'm sorry, between genius and stupidity is very thin. And we just don't know if it's one or the other. I think we still have to say he's a fucking legend. Whatever he's doing, if it pays off the right way, will be truly legendary. You know what? Because of its ambiguity, I gotta lower him down. I feel like that's kind of the problem. If he was doing this right, I feel like maybe it wouldn't be as hard to rate. I feel like maybe we should know what Cody's doing for it to actually be good. I would say he's headed towards being legendary status in 2022 if he sticks the landing. We need him to stick the landing on whatever the fuck he's trying to do here. Whatever his ultimate goal is, whatever the plan is, he needs to land that to be in that category. Right now, he's working something. It's really weird. It's confusing everyone. It's pissing people off, legit. So just a bit short. Let's see him pull it off. Adam Cole, baby. I don't know about Adam Cole. Look, I know that he was big shit in NXT. Everybody fucking loves him. He might be the most loved man on the whole roster. As far as what he's done in the ring, not too much this year. I'm going to have to say he's on the way up. I can't give him worker status. Most of his matches are verging on absurd. I think that I believe now that the Undisputed Era is coming in. We've got Bobby Fish. We got O'Reilly. I think that is going to elevate him if he has his own stable, if they're doing their own thing and not just kind of inserting himself into what is happening with the Elite, which was kind of on the way out when he came in. So let's put him on the way up for 2021. Okay, we got the other gun. We're going to put him over here in the do better section. Just haven't really seen it. There's Tay Conte. She goes up here and just a bit short. We just need to see more from them. If they did that hardcore match right at the end. If it was earlier and they had a year to expand upon it, we could probably see something. All right, Brandon Cutler, of course, is a jabroni. Bryan Danielson for 2021. The match with Kenny Omega alone, it's fucking legendary. I mean, the way he came in, I mean, can Bryan Danielson do anything that isn't fucking legendary? His in-the-ring work is unparalleled. I hadn't seen much of Bryan Danielson, but yeah, instantly you can tell he's just, on a class of his own, on some other shit, and awesome debut in AEW, and I think he's going to maintain that legendary status for his entire run. I can't see it changing. Christopher Daniels is pretty much gone for 2021. Dante Martin. I think we can say he's on the way up. His debut was really, really solid, and then he had a bit of a drop, or else I would put him up higher. Seems really good, seems to have a lot of potential. Darby Allen in 2021. I want to put Darby Allen up higher. I have to give him legendary status. There's one reason why I'm going to give Darby Allen legendary status for this year, and that's his match with MJF, among other things. But the match with MJF was easily the best match of the year in AEW. And if you haven't seen it, it was on the, I believe that was on the Full Gear pay-per-view, if I'm saying it correctly. Amazing match. Fucking legendary for sure. And MJF is going to be up there as well for everything that he does. Yeah, MJF, let's grab him right now. Right next to Darby Allen. Absolutely fucking legendary. On the mic, in the ring, everything MJF is doing. Definitely one of the top talents in the company. Fucking legend. Let's see here. Apologize if I'm missing people who I didn't see too much, I'm going to have a hard time ranking people who didn't leave an impression, or if I didn't see them enough, or if they were only wrestling on Dark mostly. Selena D is either on the way up or almost awesome. She's just starting to take off. I want to put her in the almost awesome area. She's not quite there as far as, I need to watch all of her matches closely, but she's getting there, and her promos are getting there as well. She had a real good one the other night with Tony Schiavone. That was actually quite good. They had to add in some music and stuff to kind of make it better. She wasn't quite as crisp on the mic as she could be, but she has a lot of potential. I know she's been a legend. She's been around for a long time, so I think we're going to see it from her. All right, Dustin Rhodes barely did shit. And even the little bit he did was pretty damn good. It's really hard to say with Dustin Rhodes. Look, we got to give him worker status just because whenever he shows up, we know he does well. He just barely wrestled, but we're going to give him worker just as an honorary thing. He did step in the ring from time to time, and it was always good. Ethan Paige. Paige's match with Cody Rhodes was fascinating. This was probably the best Cody match of the year, was Cody versus Ethan Paige. And this happened right after Cody Rhodes won the title. This was his first defense. And they both went in being booed by the audience. And Cody was able to turn Ethan Paige into a sympathetic figure so that he was actually getting cheers. Ethan Paige is so despicable. His character right now is awful. And he actually turned over and had the crowd on his side through the work he was doing in the ring with Cody Rhodes. I'm not going to put him on the same level as Cody Rhodes because I do feel Cody elevated him in that match. I'm going to put him at a solid worker, though. I was definitely impressed with what was happening there. And yeah, MJF in Long Island was one of the most fantastic things of the year as well. The welcome that he got in Long Island was hilarious. The whole place was over for him. Rey Fenix, fucking legend. Rey Fenix and Penta, both fucking legends. They took the titles this year. They had an amazing match with the Young Bucks. Totally fucking legendary. Of course, Rey Fenix dislocated his elbow. Let me see. I think I got the picture still here. Went through the table. His arm went backwards. It was horrible. But yes, fucking legendary this year in 2021. They did great. Unfortunately, we might not see a lot of them in 2022 because of the arm. We'll see. For 2021, fucking legendary status for sure. Bobby Fish. I'm going to put him right there with Adam Cole and on his way up. I'm actually more impressed with Bobby Fish than Adam Cole. I'm going to leave him on the same level for now. But Bobby Fish, I think out of the three, O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and Bobby Fish, I'm most interested in Bobby Fish. I love his in-ring work. His moves are awesome. Everything looks really clean that he does. Very impressive guy. He's been around for a while too. Here we got Penelope Ford. Going to put her up with the ladies here. Bit short of legendary. Just need to see them carry on now. They had an amazing hardcore match. Let's see some more. Fuego del Sol. Couple of good things. I mean, he got his ass kicked by Hook, so there was that. And he had a good match against Miro. I'm going to say he's almost awesome. He's got potential. I know a lot of people are going to say jabroni on him. But I don't know. I'm interested. I'm a little more interested. I can't put him on the same level as Brandon Cutler. I just can't. I think he's a little better than that. And I don't know if he can do better. Maybe I need to switch this. See, I think this is actually on the way up. And then these guys are almost awesome. I think I got them in the right spot, but I think I had the names wrong. Because, yeah, clearly these wrestlers are on their way up, and clearly these wrestlers are almost awesome. That's better. Now I think we're good. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my God, we got Griff Garrison, and to go with him, if I can find him real quick here, we got... Where's his partner? Oh, the roster is getting so big now. With WWE's roster is getting smaller every day, and AEW's roster is just increasing every day. So it gets difficult. I'm looking for... I'm not seeing them. I don't think Joey Janela did shit in 20... They got wrestlers on here who haven't done anything in 2021. I don't know what they were doing. There he is, Brian Pillman Jr. Okay, Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. I gotta say, I want to see him do better. I don't know. I mean, the best Brian Pillman was doing was when he was doing work with MJF. And both on the mic and in the ring, it was a little short. A little short. Wasn't quite getting there. Jake Hagar didn't do much towards the end of 21. I feel like he did have some good stuff in the middle. We're gonna give worker status to Jake Hagar though. 100%. He's always good in the ring. Okay, and Dax, FTR. Dax, and where is his partner? Oh, why didn't you put the tag team partners? There he is, and Clash. Dax and Cash. We're going to put them in worker status. I'm not the biggest FTR fan, but I do respect them. I do appreciate what they're doing. I really like what Cash does with the tag rope. I'm starting to look at that now, and it is fascinating. He's always over there telling a story with the tag rope. Solid workers. You're always going to get a good match when they're out there. But, you know, as far as legendary, they haven't really had an angle. Maybe that's, you know, the story writings department, but there you go. All right. Jamie Hayter has not done much since she came in. I'm going to have to put her in the do better category. Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs, I think, has a lot of potential, but has not been used very well. And I don't feel that's his fault, but we got to put him in do better. And it's not even for him. It's just like, please book him better. Oh, Jade. Oh my God. All anyone can talk about today is Jade because she won the title and nobody thinks she deserves it. Jade's got a great look. She's new in the ring. So she's not doing too much. She looks great. I love that she has white hair because of Storm. If you saw her Storm cosplay, it's phenomenal. I'm going to give her credit. I'm going to say she's on the way up. I mean, she's fucking champion, for God's sake. Let's just hope that whatever they see in her is there and that it will come to fruition. So definitely for 2021, she was on the way up, for better or for worse. That's the way it is. Jericho barely did shit in 2021, but everything he does is fucking legendary. Jericho is basically AEW. When he comes out and Judas plays, that's what people are there for. So Jericho gets the fucking legendary status. Might be locked into it for life, no matter what he does or doesn't do. John Silver had a few moments in 2021. He's definitely worker status. John Silver's always putting in good work and always awesome. So we got to give it to John Silver. Jungle Boy. We got to give Jungle Boy worker. I mean, part of the tag champion now. Has had some great matches over his time in AEW. He's over with the crowd like nobody's business. But I don't know. I'm hoping that their tag run, the tag champion run between Jungle Boy and Lucha Soros, will result in bringing up letting him do something in the ring that actually is approaching, legendary status that can elevate him. I just haven't seen it yet. And we'll get Lucha Soros. I'd say Lucha Soros it's rough with Lucha Soros. He's not a worker. I mean, it wasn't his fault that Rey Fenix landed on his arm. We can't blame that on Lucha Soros. I want to say he's almost awesome. I don't feel right about putting him lower than that because he does 5 or 6 things very, very well, but he only does 5 or 6 things. If he can expand that to 10 things, I think he's going to be a very solid worker. So we have to see it happen though, because right now we've only seen a couple of things. I think the secret to Lucha Soros is getting him on the mic more. I'm hoping that this year with them as the tag champions, they're going to let him, that he'll want to take the mic more. I don't know if they're keeping him from it, but every time he gets on the mic, it is awesome. It's happened like twice, and both times it's been fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Isaiah Cassidy. I mean, look, these guys are still like in jobber status. Oh my God. This dude here, Leela Hirsch, absolute jobber. I mean, Isaiah Cassidy, look, I just want to see him do better. I want to move him out of Jabroni. He was probably in Jabroni last time, him and his tag partner. But I feel like at this point, they need to do better. They've been around for a while. Let's see them do something. Frankie Kazarian barely did anything. Eddie Kingston this year. His match with CM Punk alone and the build to that and everything that he's doing. Yeah, fucking legendary. Fucking legendary. And yeah, I got to agree, man. Lilo is not hitting off. A lot of it's the lame gimmick, and some of it's his in-ring. I didn't see anything impressive from him in the ring. I feel like he belongs here with Brandon Cutler. Look, it's not happening. It's not happening. Eddie Kingston needs to have a championship, straight up. In 2022, let's put the TNT title on him or something. Just fuck it. Just give him a title. Tag champion might be good too. Who knows? Team him up with Penta. Fuck, if Ray can't work, I'd say Eddie and Penta could take those belts back. Let's do it. Let's get a belt on Eddie. That's what I want to see. A lot of people did stop doing stuff or did stuff at like the start of 21, but then dropped off to the point where we forget they... All right, we got Leela Hirsch. Oh, she was starting up a nice feud with Statlander. I'm going to say she's on the way up. I think she has the makings of a really interesting personality. Oh, Matt Hardy is like jabroni level. Matt Hardy has such a drop. You could mark the moment where Matt Hardy dropped off in AEW. It's when he did the botch and landed with his head on the fucking cement. Ever since then, nothing he's done has been legendary, man. 2020 was amazing for him, but in 2021, straight up jabroni. He's got his own stable, but it's like he's just collecting a paycheck there. We could put him in the do better. We'll put him in the do better. I don't feel right about making Matt a jabroni. He is a fucking legend, but he's got to do better. And I don't feel he's on the way up. I feel like that's just going to continue on. Oh, we got the Young Bucks. Matt and Nick. Let's see, where's Nick at? Yeah, I don't even know if this is in... Oh, here's the other private party. Here we go. We got a lot of people that need to do better this year. What's going on? And where's my other Young Buck? There we go. There's Nick. Okay, we got the Young Bucks. Their match with the Lucha Bros was amazing and would almost put them up into legendary status, except they haven't done much else. They've really leaned on a lot of bullshit in 2021 and haven't been very good in the ring. So They had one great match with the Lucha Brothers, but then not much else. Whereas the Lucha Brothers had the great match with the Young Bucks in the steel cage, and then did solid work the rest of the year. Every other time they came out, they were doing great, whereas the Young Bucks were kind of the inverse. So we're gonna put them in just a bit short. Need to see more out of the Young Bucks. Not sure why they were so diminished this year. Miro, on the strength of his promo, I gotta say, Miro's a fucking legend, man. His run as champion was pretty fucking great. It could have been better. I don't think that was his fault. But every time he gets on the mic, it's fucking hot lava. It's amazing. The guy's insane. He cracks me the fuck up. Miro is awesome. 100% fucking legend. Yeah, Miro's fighting God. I don't even know. It's nuts. Moxley had to take a break. It was clear to see even before he took a break that he was struggling. Some of the nights he was coming out was not the best. It was not that much of a surprise to me that he went away to get help, and I'm glad he did. We're going to put him just a bit short. I know he's going to be back, and I know he's going to be just as legendary as ever. Nyla Rose is awesome. And I'm going to put Nyla Rose into the worker category. Whenever she comes out, she's doing good work. It's always a good match. Her intro's killer. I feel like her manager right now is holding her back. I don't care for Guerrero as her manager. No one does. It's kind of the idea behind it, but I don't think she needs it. I think Nyla Rose is good on her own. And I think that I'm hoping that she'll do big things. Oh my God, these guys. Matt Lee. I want to say Matt Lee and his partner are almost awesome. They're definitely getting some heat. I like the feud that they're starting up with Jericho. I'm going to put them all the way up, actually. I don't know if they're quite in the almost awesome range. We really haven't seen too much from them to say much more than that. But let's put him there for now. Kenny Omega in 2021. He had a couple of great matches. I'd say most notably his match with Bryan Danielson. But a lot of his work was lacking because he was injured. And I'm going to say because of the injuries, he came up just a bit short. He played his part as in-boss very, very well. But I feel like Kenny Omega is going to do better after he gets better, after his surgeries, after his recoveries. He's going to come back. I'm hoping to see him as a face champion and be over like crazy when that happens. However, his run as heel champion was phenomenal, but probably just a bit short because, I mean, if you really look at it, I know a lot of people argue with me on this. They're like, oh, Kenny Omega, he wrestled all the time in 2021. I'm like, no, he really didn't. They wrestled a lot of three-man matches, a lot of mixed tag matches where Kenny Omega kind of took a back seat and really didn't get between the ropes very much because he was hurt. So he had a good reason for it. And when it came time to perform, as it did with Danielson, he sucked all that up and you couldn't even tell that he was injured at all. So amazing, but the work wasn't really there in the ring. You know, I feel like the exploding barbed wire death match really hurt him in this regard too. That should have been, both Moxley and Omega were really kind of damaged by that one. That should have been a bigger moment for both of them. It'll be remembered as a huge botch. Very great match up until the botch though. I mean, up until the botch, it was pretty fucking great, but of course no one remembers that. And you know, it does matter how the thing ends. And when it ends like that, it's hard to say it's anything but just a bit short. Orange Cassidy in 2021 is very hard for me to say because I do have to agree. I feel like he was better in 2020. In 2021, he's really leaning on his gimmick. He's not adding to it. He didn't have as many moments with it that he had in 2020. Like just his match with Pac was better than probably anything that he did in 2021. maybe taking a backseat more to some other members of like the Best Friends stable and maybe trying to get them over a little more. Let's put him up into worker status, because I do feel that whenever he comes out, he's going to have, I mean, he can have a good match with like an inanimate object. So I'm pretty sure that Orange Cassidy deserves his worker status, but I can't really say that he did anything very legendary. That was really more in 2020. Just his match with Jericho with the 2 vats of orange juice bubbly on either side. Awesome. Awesome. That was legendary status. Nothing like that really happened this year. So sad to see it, though. I do like Orange Cassidy a lot. All right, Pac came back. He came back, and Pac is always a worker. Always puts in a good match. Solid guy. Definition of one of the most solid guys on the roster. If anyone's a worker, it's Pac. Oh, Santana and Ortiz were straight fire in 2021. They didn't get the matches that they needed to elevate them. And I don't know. They just really didn't get the matches. I got to put them in worker just for what they did in 2021. They need a push. I think Santana and Ortiz are probably the most likely to get the belts next. I feel like in 2022, Santana and Ortiz could definitely take the tag team championship belts away from the Lucha Brothers. They should be the ones. That should be the main feud. That's what I want to see. I would love for them to obtain legendary status in 2022. Hangman Adam Page finishing his arc and becoming champion. Plus his matches with Danielson. The best work he's ever done. I'm debating. He's so new as champion. I'm going to put him as, just because it happened so late. For most of 2021, Adam Page wasn't around. He showed up at the end. He did great things. But I feel like a lot of that was Danielson helping him and not Page on his own. I think we're going to see Paige be legendary in 2022, but he's getting a lot of support right now. Nothing against that. I just feel it's a bit short on his own merits on what happened in the ring on 2021. Yeah, did I say that wrong? As Santana and Ortiz should take the belts from Jurassic Express, from, not the Lucha Brothers. I might have said that wrong. My bad. The feud should be between Jungle Boy, Lucha Soros, Santana, and Ortiz. There, that's very clear. Okay, let's keep going. I don't know if we have... All right, we don't have a whole lot left, but we got a few. Let me go down here. Wardlow is still jobbing out, man. He still hasn't done shit in 2021. I know we're going to see a lot from him later on. Eventually Wardlow and MJF are going to fucking have it out. There's going to be a Virgil moment. It's going to get intense. And shit's going to get real. But, right now, Wardlow would be jobbing. By intention, though. I think they got long-term plans for that. Evil Uno was one of the most surprising parts of 2021. The match that he had with Danielson was amazing. And Uno goes into the worker category for sure. Uno is, and his finishing move, Evil Uno's finishing move, the Something Evil, is one of the coolest finishers that I've ever seen. It looks entirely brutal, and it's awesome. Evil Uno. I wouldn't have seen it coming, but there he was. Trent came back, looking better than ever, straight worker. Trent, awesome. Hoping to see more of him in 2022. Chuck Taylor. This whole best friends stable are kind of hanging out together right in that worker zone. Solid guys. You put them in there. Always doing good work. Always entertaining. Stu Grayson really didn't do much on the main show. Sting got in the ring. I don't want to put Sting... I mean, I know Sting is a legend, but as far as what he did in 2021... I mean, I'm gonna give Sting's just solid worker status. He's still doing great work in the ring. It's not phenomenal. The angles aren't amazing. He's not doing anything amazing on the mic. It's all really good. He's just there. It's not a disappointment to anybody, which says a lot, because some of these old timers you get in the ring and it's just, there's not much happening. With Sting, at least everything that happens is really good. All right, Statlander was pretty awesome in 2021. I mean, I'm just going to put her in with the whole Best Friends stable is just hanging out in this worker zone. I'd like to see something elevate them, but until it happens, I mean, they're just solid. But hanging out. Ricky Starks. I'm going to say he's on the way up. Sean Spears needs to do better, man. That chairman gimmick is shitty. The shit they do with him is not that entertaining. In-ring work, nothing memorable. Scorpio Sky also, they need to do better with him. Being a part of America's Top Team is a fucking dumpster fire. Not entertaining at all. Pretty goddamn crappy. Okay, Ruby Soho debuted towards the end of 2021. So I think Ruby Soho has to go into the almost awesome category. I do not feel all of her matches are solid. Not all of the things that she does on the mic land. Some of the things she does on the mic are amazing. I mean, the promo that she did with Britt Baker was awesome. But I feel like Britt Baker was carrying the weight of that. I'm glad that Ruby Soho is here. I think she's going to develop nicely in her time here. But I think right now, I think there's a gap in styles between Ruby Soho and the AEW style. She's very much still wrestling like a WWE style match. And AEW is just a little different. And she's still just kind of working her old style and hasn't quite picked up from the AEW crew what they're really about. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as that gets integrated into what she does in the ring. Hikaru Shida. I got grief from my friend Dijon about putting Shida as low as I did last time. I believe he wants her up in the fucking legend status. I just don't see it. I still don't see that. She's feuding with Selena Deeb, and I don't want to... She's not on the way up. I'm still going to say Shida is a worker, which is, I think, where I put her last time. I can't even say it's there. I mean, she lost the title. She's not doing that. This feud with Selena Deeb is really good. And it's still developing. And as it develops, it might develop into something that will raise her status, in my opinion. But right now, we got to stick with it as worker. I'm sorry. Okay, Sammy Guevara. I think is the shortest. I mean, I guess Cody's initial run as champion. I mean, there have been shorter runs as... I think the TV championships typically have shorter durations on them as well. They're meant to change hands on TV to make that exciting. I'm going to look to balance out, to tell you that the worker category, okay, the worker category includes a legends. I mean, that's what AEW is. That's why AEW is good to watch, because when you were talking about a tier list, this is like 10, this is like 9.8, this is like 9.5. These are like 9, 9.3s. Like, these are all really, really talented people, very interesting to watch. It's all better than like all other wrestling. So when I put Sammy Guevara down in worker with Shida, it's not that they're like miles below these other people. Just maybe in 2021, we didn't see it as much. The in-ring promos weren't as legendary. The work in the ring wasn't as, timeless. I think we're going to see great things out of Guevara in 2022. We just didn't really see him in 2021. Championship reign was a little less than it probably could have been. No real notable feuds in that. Ended before it really began. Thunder Rosa did have the match with Britt Baker. It was rather legendary. Gonna have to say Thunder Rosa overall is a little bit short. Don't even think that's her fault. Just maybe lack of time, lack of matches. But yeah, definitely in the match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, it was Britt Baker that everyone was talking about. So we're going to say Thunder Rosa came up a bit short. Really loved her X23 cosplay. If you haven't seen that one, that was definitely amazing. Cool to see her rep for Marvel. Not abusing the Marvel IP. Always big points around here. Riho did wrestle. Oh my God, Riho. Oh, Riho. What are you? What are you? What are you doing? Is Riho a jobber? Is Riho jobber status? Does she do anything? I don't know. Can she do better? Can put her in the do better. Look, Riho's a jobber, though. I mean, look, she's not going to take the title again, is she? Is she a real contender? What's she doing? We need a women's tag division. If we had a women's tag division, I think you could elevate some of these women up here. You put Riho and Shida together, you got something. You put Ruby and someone else together. I think we need a women's tag division. Yeah, Riho's going to job out to Britt tomorrow night. Look, she's straight up jobber in 2021. I know she can do more. She just isn't. She just fucking isn't. What can you do about it? Okay. Who do we... Oh, Rebel's a jobber. we know that. QT, you're a jobber. Okay, we're running out of people. We're running out of people here. I think I'm down to my last person. I think I'm down to the last person that we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm forgetting... I'm not familiar enough with him. I did forget his tag partner. Matt Lee's tag partner. Pinhead. We got Squarehead and Pinhead, right? Matt Lee's tag partner. Matt Lee tag partner. I should find him on here. Oh, Hook too. Hook's not even on here. Look, it's hard to say about Hook because he's only had 2 matches. He had like 1 match in 2021. We know Hook is going to be legendary as fuck. He's not on this tier list. That's okay. We know where he belongs. He's a fucking legend already. So I'm going to say that goes without saying. I think Hook's going to be a conversation that we're going to have in 2022. Is it Scott Parker? Okay, Matt Lee and Scott Parker. Got it. Okay, where's Scott Parker at? Is it Jeff Parker? Okay, Jeff Parker. Gotcha. All right, these 2 guys. I want to make sure I get these 2 guys in right before we move on. Where the fuck did he go? There he is. Okay, yeah, these guys are on the way up. Absolutely on the way up. Okay, one last guy to talk about here, and that is CM Punk. CM Punk had the biggest return to wrestling that anyone's ever had. Took 7 years off. Had an amazing match with Eddie Kingston. Always amazing on the mic. I'm going to catch so much shit if I don't put him in legendary status. I just don't know if I feel that way about what he's done. I mean, they've admitted that they've held him back. CM Punk and Tony Khan decided not to push him to the moon the moment that he showed up. I mean, he showed up with Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole on the same time frame. I know a lot of people are huge CM Punk fans, but was it really the summer of Punk? How many times did he wrestle? How many wrestling matches are we talking about? It's not the same as Bryan Danielson. I mean, Bryan Danielson coming out every night, putting on amazing matches. CM Punk was coming out every night and sitting at the commentary table. He's coming out every night and talking in the ring, cutting great promos, doing great work, being the face of the company, taking over for Cody, really. But is he doing fucking legendary things? No. And yeah, if he's even admitting himself that he's still getting back into it, it's clear. I feel in 2022, hands down, he's going to do legendary shit. We all know it. It's the promise of CM Punk that is really carrying that, and not so much the reality of it just yet. So here's my list. Let me know if you agree with it. Let me know if you would change things around. That's just how I'm feeling tonight. If I looked at it tomorrow, I might do it differently. You can trust me. I'm Mr. Hartgrave. Grave Diggers, if you enjoy wrestling content, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, and keep digging.